Do any of you know a song or a poem where the words or the melody touched you so deeply it felt that it was written just for you, helping you find clarity, courage, or hope during a challenging time in your life? 6 years ago, in his kitchen, on a miserable Irish October's evening, my father shared a song with me that I heard for the first time. Like my dad, I love music, and it can have the power to transform my mood. Well, he was trying to do just that because I was feeling as miserable as the weather that night. Not only did this song help me feel much better in that moment, it went on to become like a mantra to me, helping me over the next year. It still has the power to uplift me when I need it. The song is called My Silver Lining, and the first verse goes like this. I don't want to wait anymore. I'm tired of looking for answers. Take me someplace where there's music and there's laughter. I don't know if I'm scared of dying, but I'm scared of living too fast, too slow. Regret, remorse, hold on. Oh no, I've got to go. You see, little did my dad know that I was on the verge of making my final decision to try and become a mother without a partner at a clinic abroad using 2 donors. I was 48. Now, if you have ever looked up pregnancy, late 40s, you will understand just one of the reasons why I was so overcome with emotion that night. Even in a healthy woman, a pregnancy over 40 is considered high risk. High blood pressure, gestational diabetes, and miscarriage are just some of the complications that are much more common in an older woman. Some of the feelings that consumed me that night and around that time were fear, sadness, and shame. Some of the voices in my head were asking, how had I arrived at this point? How had I messed up so badly? Was I not good enough to be a mother and have a family? Was I not good enough? The answer is, my stars simply didn't align. When I was in my 20s, I was in a serious relationship, but I wasn't ready to be a mother. And as we all know, these were the best baby-making years of my life. By the time I reached my mid-30s, when fertility really starts to decline, I was feeling the beginnings of a rising panic. But like most of us, I was hoping to meet the one. Sound familiar? But as I discovered, for a woman, meeting that person in the relatively short fertility window of time was not as easy as I had believed since hearing my first fairy tale as a little girl. There's immense pressure in any relationship when there's an agenda. And there's nothing louder than the sound of the biological clock of a woman who is aching for a baby. On many levels, I was living my best life. I had a good job, great friends, and I loved the freedom of being able to travel. Yet, turning 40 was difficult. Another relationship had not worked out, compounding my feelings of turmoil. I was now at that milestone age and felt silently depressed about my situation. How many of you here, over the age of 30, have ever been asked or have asked that question, do you have kids? Little show of hands. Up until this point, my answer had always been a blasé, no, not yet. But it was around now that I began to dread this banal chit-chat question. My feelings of discomfort and shame would bubble up to the surface, while internally I blamed myself for not prioritizing having kids, for making wrong decisions in my fertile past. I also felt extremely isolated in my feelings because being child-free due to circumstances is not something that is really spoken about or understood. Well-meaning friends and family unintentionally rubbed salt to my wounds with comments such as, "You have a great life, why ruin it?" Or, "Here, you can have mine." We all do it. I tried to reconcile the possibility of never becoming a mother, but I wasn't ready to let go of my dream. I kept hoping that things would still fall into place, that I would meet my prince, and just in the nick of time, I would get my happy ever after. Because I was still clinging to that fantasy of how my ideal family should look. Now, hope is vital. It keeps us going in life, but it can also hold us back from our reality and from taking action. I found my reality too painful to accept. So I found hope in the stories of the celebrities who had babies in their 40s. And at 42, I seriously considered going at it alone, but I found this difficult and I just couldn't get my head around it. This choice felt to me as if I would be giving up on my lifelong belief of how my life was supposed to be, because separating motherhood from romantic partnership is a very difficult thing to do. But, as the song goes, I hear a voice calling me, calling out for me. These shackles I've made in an attempt to be free. Be it for reason, be it for love. I won't take the easy road. There was a voice inside of me and it wouldn't shut up. It was calling me. So I decided to listen to this voice, to really listen to it and not to shut it out, along with my dream of motherhood. So I began to research every avenue, every aspect of what might be possible. I found the right support, including an intuitive therapist and a trusted friend. I had some honest conversations about my feelings. For the first time, I felt heard and seen with where I truly was in my life. And when my voice was heard, I was then able to really hear it myself. This voice brought me on an amazing journey of self-discovery, discovered a few truths about myself. I want to share with you the main insights that helped me be ready to take the road less traveled, to try and make my dream of motherhood a reality. There were no guarantees that this road would bring me my baby, but I was sure that by trying, by going the extra mile, that I would find some peace in my heart. I reached the point where my procrastination became action. I began discussions with the right fertility clinic. My sadness changed to hope. I opened up to a different way. My fear transformed to nervous excitement. I had a good chance to have my baby. And my shame became courage. I felt empowered and in control. This is what worked for me. It might just help you on your road less traveled. The first thing was about knowing myself. What was most important to me in life? My beliefs and values. I discovered that some of my values were adventure, courage, and freedom. There were a few things that helped me connect with them, that inner voice, to get closer to the clarity that I was seeking. Hiking in the mountains, yoga, meditation, journaling, and lots of dancing in my living room to my favorite music. I was terrified. There were 100 reasons not to do this. But my desire to try and become a mother was stronger than my fear. Secondly, I learned to trust myself. My intuition, my inner voice was telling me that motherhood was very important to me and it was worth my best shot. I didn't need the affirmation or the approval of anyone because I knew that I could be easily influenced by people's advice and fears and judgments. I chose very carefully who I shared my plans with. My desire to hold my baby and my plan were like tiny embers in my heart and belly. The only people who were aware of my journey ahead were those who I knew would be able to travel alongside with me to help transform these embers to a bright flame. I also trusted that I had not, in fact, made wrong decisions. After all, in the past, I had made the right decisions for me at that time. Thirdly, I had the power to reshape my dream. By really getting out of my comfort zone, I had a good possibility to make my most important dream a reality in a way that I never could have imagined. So choosing the donors was the most surreal part of the process, not unlike online dating. I let my intuition make my choice. Okay, so this child may not have my eyes or my mother's trademark laugh. He or she may not inherit our family trait of inappropriately snorting during a fit of the giggles. But what if I could teach my child the qualities that I believed would be most important, such as courage and confidence and compassion and kindness and resilience? Because being a parent and love go way beyond genetics, after all. On this path, I did eventually redefine my deeply entrenched belief of motherhood. And this brought with it a great sense of freedom because my most cherished dream was now, for the first time, in my hands and mine alone. Still emotional for me to talk about it. So, finally, it became crystal clear to me that the pain of living the rest of my life with the regret that I did not try everything in my power to become a mother would have been far worse for me than trying and not succeeding. From all of this, I realized that not only was I good enough to be a mother, I was enough. Final verse. Something good comes with the bad. A song's never just sad. There's hope. There's a silver lining. Show me my silver lining. My dream did come true. On the 16th of January, 2020, 2 months before I turned 50, my beautiful daughter, Freya, was born. I'm not saying that the road less traveled is always the best road to take. Like my choice, there may well be complexities around your own tough decision. But if the road that you're on is not bringing you towards meaning and fulfillment in your life, then maybe it is time to consider a different road. Why not a road less traveled? It's not the easy road. It's a journey into the unknown. And like anything in life, there is no certainty. But this road may just bring you to the most incredible, beautiful destination. What I believe is true is that this is a journey that you will not regret. Thank you.